present my entire window. Okay, so the first topic I have for today, I'm just going to go over some topics really quickly, and then if you guys want, we can go more in depth. But this is more to just kind of get everybody familiar with the different obstacles we kind of have as web developers and designers and content writers and all that. So the first piece is HIPAA. It stands for the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996 here in America. Basically, its goal is to protect sensitive patient health information from being disclosed without the patient's consent or knowledge. So what that basically means, what that boils down to for us is we can't collect information on any of our websites because we're not HIPAA compliant, including names, dates, emails, addresses, and birth dates. The reason I'm bringing this up with you guys is what'll happen is we'll be working with a chiropractor or a doctor or something like that, and they'll say, "Oh, I just want to put up a patient intake form. Can you guys build that for us?" And we had a content writer do that a long time ago, and luckily we caught it before it got out because they were even asking for social security numbers and things like that. And so basically what we tell the customer is we do not collect anything on this site, including anything for patients, including their names or anything. Just the fact that they're sending their email to our customers violates us with HIPAA, and it makes us it exposes us to a lawsuit. So there are workarounds, and if a client ever needs that, it's very rare. If a client does need this information on their website, we do have tools and a variety of things that we can do. We're just asking that you guys toss the ball over to us and just say, we have a doctor here who really wants to collect patient information. You guys should talk to him. And so that's where Franklin and I will step in and figure out a solution for them to be able to take on that sensitive information. Any questions for HIPAA?
Yeah, so this is just health related stuff only, or is it just all information?
Oh, great question. Yeah, so it really, the line comes down to if you would refer to our customer as a patient. So if
Okay.
they're a chiropractor, they're a patient. A doctor, they're a patient. Obviously, a dentist, they're a patient. Anything in within that medical realm.
Okay.
I don't know where that line is in terms of uh, say a marijuana dispensary or something like that, because they do deal
Right,
with
right.
patients. So that's kind of a gray area, and if that ever comes to light, we'll do the research and figure all that out.
Yeah, or even like a skincare brand or something like that.
Yep, yeah. So just anything that would be considered a patient, somebody.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea.
Okay.
Um, it's a bummer, but it's really good because it protects people. So that's the great thing there.
Yeah.
So any other questions on HIPAA? Excellent. Next, we're going to move into ADA. So we're not going to dive into this too deeply today. ADA is the Americans Disability Act, and basically there was a court case recently with our Supreme Court in the Ninth District, which is the West Coast, which is directly where Franklin and I are, at least, uh, where all websites within this district need to have ADA compliance, which means we need to title images and make sure our buttons have links and things like that, and titles. I covered that a little bit with Elliot. Uh, what that means, Zoe, not to call you out or point you out or anything, but is basically whenever there's a button field, you want to make sure that you just fill in the little title, so that way when you hover over something, it automatically comes up with a little pop-up. Tooltip is
But
what it's called.
Travis and I are going to be digging in a little more deeper on this.
Yep.
So yeah, well, he's just kind of giving an overview,
Yep.
but we're really not sure yet how much we have to. Yeah, we've just got more. We've got to dig in more. We're going to be dealing with it on Wednesday, so we'll have a better answer for you on this stuff
Yep. Yeah.
for that meeting.
So next Monday we're going to really dive into the ADA stuff. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that this is something to think about because this is another potential lawsuit touch point for us. So it's something to consider moving forward. Any questions on ADA or anything you think Franklin and I should look up or be aware of? Excellent. Cool. So yeah, like I said, we'll talk about more on that next week. So the next piece, I'm pulling up this infographic I started a few months ago. It is in a very rough state. It even has prototype over the top. There's a ton of typos and misspellings I was going through today and just blown away by it all. But it really leads to the next piece I want to discuss today, which is finding and downloading images. So what I'm going to do right now is we're just going to kind of go over. I said I was going to create an exercise, but I thought an exercise would be a little unfair if I didn't reveal the unique issues and problems we have with cropping on our website. So I kind of want to go over what cropping is and why we do it and how you can overcome certain issues when it does come to cropping of certain images. So basically what's happening is a lot of customers will ask us, why are my images getting cut off? Basically what's doing that is a crop that the browser is doing automatically. We design our sites to work on any device, including iPhones, tablets, desktops, anything. And all those devices, we need to consider that they can rotate. You can rotate it sideways and turn a horizontal viewport into a vertical viewport. So that's kind of the idea here is all these screen sizes we need to consider them flipping over and all that. So how do people traditionally handle this image problem of flipping screens? Some people, what they'll do is they'll actually just embed the text and call to action directly in the image. And it looks great on desktop, but as soon as you put it on a mobile device, this is what will actually happen. It squeezes down and all the text becomes way too small for people to read. The other downside is Google cannot see embedded text in images. So there's no information there for Google. If somebody's Googling something and you put the text directly in the image, that will not actually help with that Google search. So we remove this option altogether. The next piece is proportional layout with live text. Basically what that means is we would just put the image in and have it go full width and full height, depending which comes first. And what that'll do is fill the entire viewport with that image, but it will push the live text out of the frame, as you can see here. So we don't like using that as well. But we actually have landed on, for our solution, is what we call the crop, which means we take the image and automatically crop it, and we sacrifice a lot of the image on the outer sides in order to get this clean view. And then we lay the text over top, and this is live text that Google would be able to see and direct people towards if they're searching for things like that. So I'm going to go through some examples of different crop devices and show you how an image would look over all these different viewports that we have up here. So here you can see this guy with the car. I put a green check box next to it because it works in every single example. The reason it works is his head's basically in the center, and the overall story's being told. And that's the important thing is we want to make sure, here, I'll expand this out so that way you guys can see it a little more. We want to make sure a story is being told with the images. And in here, you can clearly see it's a car in every single one of them. You can see he's really excited. He's looking at these lines here. Everything works. It looks great all along. Here's another image where we have this couple holding hands. I put a caution symbol next to it because in a couple of these, we're risking the story not being told because of the crop. So you'll see here that we have this couple. They're holding hands and they're looking over this grand vista here. You'll notice that in all of these, it does work. That's why I give it a pass, but I say it's important that you test on a device still. So we want you to test it looking at it on Firefox. I recommend they have an excellent responsive tool, so you can go through and look at that. If you guys want me to do a run through of that, I can absolutely record a video kind of showing you how to use that responsiveness tool. What it basically does is it allows you to put in any device, like you could put in an iPhone or something like that, and it'll automatically put that website within an emulator, basically, that emulates the viewport of that device. So actually, I think I'll just record that video for you guys and post it over the week. Here's another one. We have the couple. Again, we're trying to tell the story of them cooking. And so here you can see, clearly we can see everything, but I put the caution symbol on it because it's getting very tight and we might be missing some extra information. This image here looks great. In fact, we've used this image on a client site, but you can see the issue you run into here. When it's viewed on an iPhone, you're just getting his shoulder in his arm, and that's about it. So we're missing the whole story, which is him on his phone, looking cool, sitting outside of his car, all that stuff. So it's all missing. Here you can see that a little bit larger over here, how that would look on that device. Here's some more examples. So you can see this running image. I love images like this because there's a lot of empty space. Very dramatic story. She's caught in midair, running. Huge issue though with this where it doesn't work. This image could be salvaged by cropping a little differently. So if you were to crop the image and kind of bring her more into the center, you might be able to salvage this image. If it doesn't work though on a portrait device, then we're gonna have to skip it. Here's another example, kind of showing, this is the cutoff effect a lot of our customers complain about, which is where when they're viewing an image on a device, it kind of cuts off the top of their head. A lot of times it will go right towards the center, and that might just be their t-shirt or their neck or something like that, and it doesn't look attractive at all. So obviously we're trying to avoid that, so you can see all these red boxes showing the problem area there. This is kind of my tool I use in my mind whenever I'm evaluating an image to be used by a customer or anything like that. I immediately kind of think of a green box floating in the center that looks just like this. And so you can kind of see here, we have the mobile portrait, which is the purple, and we have the yellow, which is the desktop landscape. You can see the crop line here. So if you have the overall crop line, you can kind of see how that looks here. So here you can see the top of the pilot. This image works here because you can see the top of the pilot's head. You can see that it's an aircraft. The story is being told here. Again, with this lady here, her glasses, her face, fashion, it's all in this green zone. That'll work. Here in Reno, we have this arch. You can see this image works because Reno's there. The text does get cut out, but we need to consider that this is the most extreme view. And so that's why I give it a pass, because on desktop it'll work really well. On mobile, it'll work well as well. So you can see that. This image here, you can see how it fails and how you could actually crop the image using the WordPress built-in crop tool to actually achieve this look. And if you do that, it will show Jacqueline or whoever's going to be putting the images, the final images in the site, it will show them how you think the crop should work. She'll try to do this as well, but if you guys are the storytellers, if you have a specific piece in an image that you want to highlight or focus on, it would be really helpful if you guys could make that crop ahead of time, and that way she could get an idea of like, okay, you're really trying to focus on the head here, and get that in there. So you can see that this image is still kind of rough because we're missing the tennis racket here. So what you could do is actually just pull this crop line out a little bit until you get the whole thing. The problem with doing that is you're shifting this blue box over. So that's kind of the overall challenge with images. Hopefully this helps kind of allow you to understand what the crop is and how to kind of work around it whenever your clients are looking at images or things like that. It's nice to be able to describe to them what you're looking for. This is an infographic, and when it is finished, I'm going to make it available to everybody, so you'd be able to send it to your customers if they have any questions or they want to add anything.
So question, Travis.
Oh, sure.
The question. So this what you're showing us, we don't have a tool for this, right?
There is no fancy tool yet to do something like this, to evaluate an image. It would be nice to create some sort of overlay that we could kind of place images in, but I haven't thought of a way to do that yet.
Well, we should talk to Derek and see if it's something that can be quickly done.
Oh, like just a quick tool that kind of, yeah, that's a good idea.
Just upload the image, see how it goes, because really, for the copywriting, we're expecting you to pick images, but really, it's picking images, and then the design team at the end is actually cropping them. Correct, Travis?
That's not necessarily true. I'd like if the copywriter has a point or a story they'd like to tell with the image, it could be helpful for you to crop it ahead of time. Otherwise, Jacqueline will just go through and crop them the way they are, if that makes sense. So when she downloads the image, she'll just crop it the way she sees it and then put it in, thinking that's the way to do it. So
okay, so we need to refine this process as a good start, but
yep.
We should really talk with Derek, because if we have this tool and maybe a way for our copywriters to relay the information to, because I'm worried about time, right? I really want the copywriters to focus on writing and not cropping images.
Oh yeah, and that's why I'm encouraging to use the WordPress crop tool. So you just upload.
Oh, I'm with you. Right.
Yeah,
so it's very easy. You just go in, you crop it the way that you want.
Yep, exactly.
And, right. Okay, so it doesn't have to be cropped outside and tested, and is it going to work and all that?
Yep, yeah.
All right, well, that makes sense, because that's very quick to do.
Yeah, and I'll record a video on how to use the WordPress crop tool, because I realize there's probably some confusion there. What that is, just in a nutshell, is it's a tool built into WordPress. You just click Edit Image, and it will pull up the crop tool right away, and you can just drag your mouse over what you want the focal
it's
point
pretty
to be.
easy.
Oh, excellent. So you know it already, Elliot?
Yeah, I've used it before.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's pretty quick. That's very easy to do. Yeah, I was just concerned that trying to crop it outside, bring it in, it's not working, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I forgot about that. So I hardly ever use that in WordPress, but I think it's a great solution, Travis.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, so I'll make these resources available during this week. A quick video on how to crop in WordPress. And then I forget the other video I was going to create. Something.
At what stage do we crop the images? Because I know that first of all we grab a preview image from Adobe Stock. So should we wait until they've been like purchased until we do the cropping, or?
I'd like you to crop it as soon as you put it into the site. That
Okay.
way the client can see the image the way you intend it to be seen.
Okay, so even if it has like the watermarks on it and everything.
Yes,
Exactly. Yeah, because you're just basically what you're doing is you're telling our design team when they go to load the final image, here's how they need to crop it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you're just passing along your vision to them. Yeah.
Perfect. And so that's everything for my stuff. Franklin's going to take the ball and he's going to talk about.
Yeah, we're just going to do a quick status update and
Perfect.
go ahead, Travis. You can stop presenting
Oh, sure.
and recording. Don't forget to stop recording.
Excellent.